For This Week in Washington, I'm Brian Darling. American socialism is a big issue this week in Washington. The conversion of General Motors to government motors by President Obama should be of grave concern to all Americans who cherish free markets. Thankfully, freedom still has a few voices in Congress. Senator Mike Johans of Nebraska introduced legislation that would require congressional approval before the government takes ownership of private enterprise. Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee has introduced legislation to require the federal government to distribute its ownership shares in General Motors and Chrysler to the taxpayers when those companies emerge from bankruptcy proceedings. Senator John Thune of South Dakota also joined the free market fray last weekend, introducing legislation that would restore private ownership to companies that were effectively nationalized. Conservatives are concerned that the recent explosion of government control of private enterprise is yet another series of poor decisions by the Obama administration that will further lead America down the road to socialism. In the much anticipated and recently released plan for a federal takeover of private health care, the Ted Kennedy bill, it contains numerous provisions that should be deeply troubling. One such provision is a call for a medical advisory council that would be comprised of Washington bureaucrats with the power to make significant decisions on health policy for all Americans. This council would become the Supreme Court of healthcare, and these unelected bureaucrats would make final decisions about your healthcare options. The national energy tax, snaking its way through the House of Representatives, has a new victim: farmers. The energy tax will cause increased energy prices, increased building costs, and a slower economy. These factors will harm farmers, and they should be deeply concerned about Congress's obsession with climate change. For more information, log on to humanevents.com and read Legislative Lowdown. I'm Brian Darling, and that's This Week in Washington. For more information, log on to heritage.org, and stay tuned next week for more news and information.